When my great-uncle passed, he left me everything. His will was simple, his entire fortune. His vast, sprawling estate nestled deep in the countryside, in one very specific, very strange condition. I inherited it all, but I was never, under any circumstances, to enter the Iron Room. The estate was breathtaking, a relic from another era, but in the heart of the sprawling mansion, at the end of a long, dusty corridor, was the room. It wasn't just locked, it was fortified. A single, solid iron door, thick as a bank vault, was set into the stone. There was no keyhole, just a complex series of bolts and a massive, unmoving lever. The lawyer had been clear. Your great-uncle was adamant. The contents of that room are not for you. Respect his wish. For the first few months, I did. I explored every other inch of the property, cataloging old books, admiring faded portraits. But the iron door was a constant, silent challenge. What could be so important, so dangerous, that it needed to be sealed away like a pharaoh's tomb? My mind raced with possibilities. Was it a dark family secret, hidden treasure? Something supernatural. The curiosity became an obsession. I spent weeks researching old locks, engineering schematics, anything that could give me a clue. The servants, the few who remained, would just shake their heads and whisper about the old master's eccentricities. They said he spent his final years reinforcing that door, working on it day and night. One stormy evening, the wind howling like a hungry wolf, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to know. Armed with a crowbar and a heavy-duty drill I'd bought in town, I went to the end of the hall. The air was cold, heavy. The storm outside seemed to echo the one raging inside me. It took hours. The metal screamed in protest as I drilled into the locking mechanisms. Sweat poured down my face. My muscles burned. Finally, with a deafening groan, the last bolt gave way. I put my shoulder to the massive door and pushed. It swung inward with a low, grating sound. Opening into perfect, suffocating darkness, I fumbled for my flashlight, my heart hammering against my ribs. I swept the beam of light across the room, my breath catching in my throat. It was empty, completely, utterly bare. The walls were smooth, seamless sheets of iron, just like the door. The floor, the ceiling, all metal. There was nothing inside, no treasure, no secret documents, no skeletal remains, nothing. I felt a surge of bitter disappointment, then confusion. Why go to all this trouble to seal an empty box? I stepped inside, the air instantly colder, still. The silence was absolute. My footsteps echoed unnaturally on the metal floor. I ran my hands along the cold walls, searching for a hidden panel, a loose seam, anything. There was nothing. Then, as I stood in the center of the empty chamber, I heard it. A soft, scraping sound. It wasn't coming from inside the room with me. It was coming from outside. I spun around and looked back through the open doorway. The hallway I'd just left was gone. In its place was a swirling, inky blackness, a void that seemed to drink the light. And from that void, a long, skeletal limb, impossibly thin, was slowly reaching, its claws scraping against the stone floor just outside the iron doorway. My blood ran cold. The truth hit me like a physical blow. The warnings, the fortifications, the sealed room. It wasn't about keeping me out. It was about having a place to get asterisk and asterisk, a safe room. My great-uncle didn't lock something inside this room. He built a fortress to keep something asterisk out asterisk. With a strangled cry, I lunged for the door. It was immensely heavy, but pure. Primal fear gave me strength. I heaved it shut, the iron groaning as it closed. The scraping outside grew frantic, louder, joined by a low, guttural chittering that vibrated through the metal floor. I scrambled to slam the bolts back into place, my hands shaking uncontrollably. The lever, the one I couldn't budge from the outside, was designed to be thrown from the inside. I threw it. A series of heavy thuds echoed around me as massive internal locks engaged. And then silence. The scraping stopped. The chittering faded. I was alone again, plunged into total darkness in the center of the iron room. I didn't inherit a mansion with a locked room. I inherited a cage, and I had just locked myself inside with the key thrown away. The real question wasn't what was in the room, but what was now roaming the halls of my house, waiting for me to come out. And how long could I survive in here before I had to face it? Thanks for watching.